Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? This crowd is buzzing right now. Tonight, those cats won't even be able to hear themselves think. Let's do it.
We're live the home of the Rockets in wonderful Houston, Texas. Our starting lineups. Look at the matchups here presented by our good friends at State Farm. Breaking down the game, let's take a look here at Manu Ginobili.
Well, Ginobili has a knack for taking charges defensively, great anticipation skill, and he's really quick. He's a phenomenal athlete. So he beats his player to the spot, and then he's willing to take the contact.
But that's just part of the larger picture for Manu. I mean, he is just a winner on the basketball court, a terrific competitor. He does everything he can to help his team win and give them an edge. Taking a charge, running down loose balls, hitting clutch shots. Whatever you need, he'll try to give it to you.
So for the Spurs, their last game, a win against the Charlotte Bobcats.
And with the type of defense they played that day, they were able to cause a lot of mistakes, Bucks.
And you know exactly what that means. I mean, causing a lot of mistakes means cashing in on those turnovers.
But the Spurs were a force last year. Partly it was because of their play on the road. Veteran teams just seem to know how important road games are. They were able to get the job done away from home.
Oh, here's Parker. 26 points for him last game against the Bobcats in Charlotte. Manu Ginobili on the wing. Nails the wide open jump shot. Ginobili's got his first points in this one. And it's the Rockets with the ball. And the older a team is like the Spurs, the easier it seems to be for them to get wins away from home. Just because they aren't rattling, it seems like, by a big crowd away from home.
Well, and the Spurs closed out the season on a tear with their road play, Kevin. They ended with the best road record in the West and the second best in the entire league at 22-11.
For the Houston Rockets, they won their last contest in that game against Dallas.
And they weren't anywhere near their sharpest in that game. But a win's a win, and they were happy to get it.
Most definitely. And when they look back on it in a few weeks, all they'll remember is the W.
And he knows how to finish when he gets that close to the hoop.
Now it's sent it over to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Kevin McHale.
His side lost their first meeting with the Spurs this year, but felt like they learned a lot from the game. He said everything they do is so precise, so detailed in their offense, that it inspired us to step up our game. We'll need to if we want to get past Duncan and company. Guys, we'll see the lessons they've learned.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris.
That's a three.
Ginobili really is one of the more unique players in the game. He's fast, he's quick, and it's the angles that he takes on his drives that seems to confound defenders. He just finds a way to get to the rim anytime he can.
Parker's shot is off.
And the fadeaway was about his only option there. Really good defensive position.
Rockets have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far tonight. Here's Martin. Again, the Rockets score. That's a great point, Steve. When you talk about Ginobili getting inside, of course, his skill at getting to the line is so huge. A big part of that effectiveness.
Yeah, he's a master of drawing fouls. There's no question about it. Being left-handed, lethal at driving from both sides of the floor makes him very capable of drawing fouls. Some would say even embellishes the fouls that he gets. But that's a matter of opinion. Offensively, he's been really effective so far, making his shots count. No wasted motion.
And Asik backs in. Here's lights out. Here's the three. And the rebound goes to Jackson.
I like the defense, guys. Really getting a hand up and challenging shots.
Yeah, Steve, lurking on that shot, and that was a tough one.
Well, when you think of Kevin McHale, you think of a Hall of Fame basketball player. In his days with the Celtics, he was phenomenal. 7 All-Star appearances, he won 3 championships, playing next to Robert Parrish and Larry Bird. Boy, he was something.
Trying to come right back with the 3 of his own. It's no good. Ginobili, the pass to Parker. Back to Ginobili. Launches it. They get it again. Jackson. A strong effort on the rebound. Nets the second chance points.
Excellent job carving out space under the glass to make that putback possible.
Here's lights out. There's the feed to Martin. Pass to Patterson. Offensive struggles continue. Missing again. And going back to Kevin McHale's play, he's one of the great low post scorers. 13th, in fact, all-time, Steve, in career field goal percentage.
dynasty in Boston during the 80s. That was something to watch.
And here are the Rockets now. After the miss from Tim Duncan. The dish to Lynn. Here's lights out. Covered by Parker. And Patterson kicks to a shoot. Martin from outside. That is good. Martin's got 5 points so far.
Big mistake not having more defensive pressure on him out there.
Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. Take a look at the Rockets. And, of course, San Antonio, 3 games behind.
You know, for the Spurs, they've looked like a different team to start this season. Not in a good way. They've played rather poorly based on what was expected of them.
Yeah, this is a team we expect to be in that battle for the top seed. And instead, questions about whether they'll even make the playoffs now. You know, it's early, but there have to be some concerns in that locker room.
Here's Lynn. Here's Patterson. Rebound, San Antonio. This is the second meeting of the year against this Rockets team.
Yeah, that was an interesting game. Very close, back and forth. In the end, free throws were the difference.
Rockets trailed by 3. Lynn with it. He's picked up by Parker. 1:15 left in the first quarter. He kicks it to Patterson. Reverses. And he races to the bucket for 2. Patterson's got a second bucket tonight. Big differential there. These real close games, sometimes there's just one step you can point to.
And Kevin, it seems like more often than not, it's free throw shooting. Sometimes one team just has a nose for not only getting to the line, but converting those charity songs.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor.
You know, it's amazing, guys. Tim Duncan's still a factor at both ends of the floor. You know, he's not quite the scorer that he was in his youth, but his defensive presence and the leadership that he brings to his team is amazing.
Yeah, he's a terrific passer, whether it's setting up teammates out of the post or holding in rebounds, making smart athletic passes to get the transition game going. Love his calm demeanor and the ability to stay even-keeled out there.
Dishes it to Mills. Back to Green. Three-pointer. And that one's good. Green's got himself going there. His first points of the game in the deep ball. Johnson sends the screen for Douglas. Back to Johnson. Whistle blows. That's going to be a travel. Gary Ford checked in for Carlos Delfino. Then for the Spurs, Blair comes in for Tim Duncan. And Gary Neal subbed in for Daniel Green. Seconds left to play in the first. And here's Mills, averaging 6 points per contest. There's the 3. The shot is off. From half court. And we reach the end of the first quarter. It's the Spurs. They're up by 6. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment.
2K Sports Magazine, the latest issue, is now available. Lights Out, the cover athlete, emerging as a star talent in the NBA.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. Guys, what's your take on the Spurs so far?
So difficult to get a shot off against this defense. They are really playing hard.
Yeah, they're playing hard and they pride themselves on making it tough for their opponent.
Well, Jeremy Lamb is just a smooth scorer with good athleticism. Just glides out there. Had a very laid-back style at UConn that gave some scouts pause. You know, it's almost like he makes it look too easy, so you wonder how hard he's actually going out there.
And now let's check out the lineup courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court for San Antonio. Mills out there with Gary Neal. Then there's Blair. And it's Splitter. And it's Leonard. And it's the 3, the small forward. Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Splitter. Doris, what do you have?
Hi, guys. Lights out. In their last game against the Mavericks, well, he had an off game. He had 9.
And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. Lynn with it. He's picked up by Parker. Here's Lights out. That's the good on the assist from Lights out. Lights out's got 6. And going back to Lampard, when you look at his style of play, do you think he needs to play harder with more passion?
I'm not sure if that's the case. Some guys are going hard and it doesn't look like they're going hard. Other guys look like they're going hard and it's happening. You just have to get to know your guy. The key for him is to want to be an impact player at the NBA level and put in the work to make that happen. He can handle adversity, the challenges of becoming a high-level NBA player. He's got a chance to be a good one.
The Rockets shooting their first free throw of the night.
Well, they seem to have lost their confidence a little bit as a team from the line. They're shooting only 70% on the year.
You know, they've really put themselves behind the 8 ball in so many of their games because they just have not been able to knock down those foul shots.
Parker dishes to Ginobili. Parker against Land. Ginobili.
Oh, my goodness. What a huge play. Tell you what, whether there's an opening or not, this guy's going to attack the rim regardless.
That was a nice replay. Joseph with the ball. Pass to Ginobili on the arc. It's rebounded by Houston. Delfino's got his 4th rebound in this one.
I think whichever team starts to dominate the glass can really take control of this game.
I won't disagree with you. I mean, it's so tight between these teams right now on the board that you're just waiting to see which team might pull away.
Juwan Blair, he's checked in for splitting. Spurs trail by 4. And Joseph kicks to Ginobili. Duncan. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. The pass to Joseph. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Lynn with it. Leonard picks him up. They grab their own miss. And that one's good. And the Rockets lead by 6.
Well, it's obvious. The difference in this quarter is that they're dominant on the offensive board.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mark. A lot of second chance points. They're not resting on their lead. They're really being aggressive and attacking the lane.
It's Ginobili outside. And it's Lynn with the rebound.
Even with every shot clanging off the rim, he seems determined to keep hoisting up these threes. It might be time to get inside of it all.
The offensive rebound. Patterson, that's good.
You know, the defense has to prevent the ball from getting down into that area if they're going to be successful.
They can use a big shot here to get this offense going.
They're good, kid. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Joseph sets a screen for Leonard. Ginobili gets the bucket. Ginobili's got 11.
Points in the paint have been the main course, or main entree, if you will. They just keep pounding it inside.
Now they're seeing no resistance defensively in the paint area, so the defense has got to be tougher.
Lynn kicks to Delfino. Takes a 3. Yes! And a nice assist from Lynn. Lynn's got 3 assists in the game. He feeds it to Leonard. Kicks it to Blair. He passes to Leonard. Feeds to Joseph. Shoots over Lynn. Second chance effort. And Blair gets it to go.
And that's why you love this guy. I mean, tremendous work on the offensive boards. He just gives you second chance points.
He dishes it to Lynn. Tim Duncan with the rebound. Spurs trail by 7. Now Joseph. Manu Ginobili on the wing. It's up a 3. Ginobili can't get that one to fall. Here's lights out. And he beat the buzzer. But it's no good. So we've reached the end of the first half of play.
33.
Rockets lead by 7.
26.
A Sprint halftime show with Damon Bruce is coming up next. Then it'll be on to the third quarter. We'll see you then.
Now, presented by Sprint.
And it's been a great game out in Houston. Thanks for joining us. The Rockets playing with passion. They're off to a hot start this season. They'd like to continue that hot streak in this game. Jeremy Lin has the team high in scoring. He's up to 9 points, and he's had some good court vision, helping out in the assist department as well. And on the other side, San Antonio just keeps scrapping. Great ball control offensively. The turnover differential a major advantage right now. Steven Jackson playing well in the first half. He's picked up 4 points and is always looking to go to work on the boards. And we'll be heading back to the court for the rest of our coverage as we go to Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke for the second half.
Third quarter about to get going. Without question, Manu Ginobili displaying his skills today.
The way he's moved through the defense so far through 2 quarters, it's like everybody but him is in slow motion.
Well, he's just that quick going to the basket, Steve. I mean, the help defense just isn't getting there in time, and he's been able to finish.
Lights out in at shooting guard. Patterson plays down low with the sheet. Martinez out there with Jeremy Lin. So that's who's on the floor for the Rockets.
You know, the more shots like that he hits guys, the more he's going to forget the pain he's playing through. Sometimes shot making can give you that added boost of adrenaline.
Now let's send it to Doris on the sideline.
Hi, Kevin. Tim Duncan is known for his unflappable demeanor. He's not a trash talker. He lets his play do that for him. He said he uses silence to, quote, destroy people's psyches. He explains, the best mind game you can run on someone is just to keep going at them. And at them, they win. Kevin, with the success he's had, you can't argue with the results.
Doris, the Spurs win percentage over the Duncan end. The best of any team in NBA history over a 15-year span. I'd have to agree. Back to Jackson. Over one. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
Well, they've built a big lead here so far, and a lot of it has to do with how well they've been rebounding.
Yeah, every time they make a stop, they're securing the rebound. That's really allowed them to get out to the lead.
It's off his foot. And it's being called a kickball. Here's Lin. And again, the Rockets good for 2.
Well, I like the way it looks to start the second half here. I mean, 3 straight makes to kick it off.
You know, Houston for the last several years has tried to get a star player on their roster, but it's so difficult to do. There's only about 10 of them in the entire league. But what they've done is they've put a lot of good players on the floor. They've built their asset base, and they're poised to make a deal when the right one comes their way.
Right around a minute and a half. Play here in the third quarter. Parker passes to Ginobili. Stolen by Jeremy Lin. And it's Martin penetrating. Blocking foul. And he draws body contact. Looked like a blocking foul, and he was in the shooting motion. And he'll head to the free throw line. That one on Jackson. Really, if you don't have a top 10 player in the league, you just continue to gather talent, and that's what the Rockets have really done.
Yeah, and you call that stockpiling assets. If you aren't building around someone, then you get as many good assets as you can because they're always movable. And I think Houston has done a nice job with that. They're in a position to add pieces or either trade for additional pieces now.
Parker kicks to Jackson. The feet to Diaw. Into Tim Duncan. To stop the run. And it's Lin with the rebound. Lin's got his 3rd rebound tonight.
What a sluggish, muddy start to the second half. Still scoreless.
That's good. Lin's got 15.
Well, the thing that comes to mind to me is how effective he is around the rim. He can finish with either hand and finish strong.
He is also a very savvy on-the-ball defender. He'll turn a crossover into a turnover if you try it against him.
Rockets lead by 15. Here's lights out. Pass to Patterson. To the middle. It's stolen by Duncan. Ginobili attacking. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got 6 assists now in the game.
Well, Tony Parker's year last season, maybe the best of his career. Spurs needed it because they've been aging the last couple of years as a team. But Parker, just phenomenal, really the leader of that club offensively. Finally at this, but still 4 for 5 shooting to start this third quarter.
And that'll be San Antonio as it goes on about. Spurs retain possession. Jawan Johnson's checked in for Houston. Marcus Morris comes in for Patrick Patterson. Then for the Spurs, Jawan Blair. He's checked in for Duncan. Kawhi Leonard comes in for Steven Jackson. And it's Green in for Manu Ginobili. Lynn against Parker. Shoots over Lynn. Drains the 19-footer. They got on this roll a while ago, and they just haven't looked back.
And you know, you look at Tony Parker, 30 years of age. He was born back in May of '82. He's played the third most games for the Spurs in franchise history after Tim Duncan and David Robinson. He clearly is one of the greats in the team's history, no doubt.
And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits.
Well, I tell you what, guys, his struggles from the field have definitely taken their toll on the team today.
Leonard breaks the double team. Here's lights out. The Rockets again can't hit.
Well, in most games he can knock it down from deep, but it just isn't there for him in this one.
Here's Parker. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. Rockets leading by 11. And the basket by Johnson.
Not a whole lot that they're doing right defensively at this stage after playing a pretty solid first half.
Parker outside. Dish now to Green. Three-pointer, and it's good in the assist by Parker. Green's got 6 points.
Greg Popovich says one of the best coaches in the league at making sure he keeps his starters rested. And at no time was that more important than last year. He did a great job of pacing his team and getting to that big record.
Houston making some changes. Sheets has checked in for Jawan Johnson. Gary Forbes comes in for Kevin Martin. Tony Douglas is subbed in for Jeremy Lin. San Antonio also making some changes. Steven Jackson checked in for Blair. Gary Neal comes in for Daniel Green. Mills in for Tony Parker. Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Gentlemen, the San Antonio Spurs have been bit by bit transitioning from one of the stingiest defensive teams in the league over the last decade to a more offensive-oriented team. Last year, they led the league in field goal percentage and three-point percentage, and were second overall in points per game. Coach Greg Popovich said that the change has been out of necessity as their roster has changed. He said, quote, "We spend more time working on offense these days because our defense won't be as good as it used to be in the past. It just won't." Kevin, they may have lost some of their defensive quickness, but their scoring has never been better.
Well, Doris, don't call it there. That offense is beautiful to watch.
Well, he did a nice job of getting himself into just enough of an open area to find that spot for his shot.
Mills dishes to Jackson. He kicks to Neal. Goes up on the high post. The rebound by Patterson.
Boy, they've been all over the glass. Big advantage in the rebound totals.
Yeah, that's really carried them in this one, guys. I mean, those one-and-dones have really set a nice tone and let them establish this lead.
And Mills kicks to Neal. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession. And there before you are the teams that have been absolutely red hot for the last 10 games. The Rockets, number 1. Number 5, the Spurs.
Now, you can't put up those type of numbers without having hot shooters. Both these clubs really feeling it at the offensive end right now.
Stolen by Jackson. And now it's Neal running. He can go all the way. No good. So Houston will take it the other way. Dishes to Patterson. That's good with a Douglas assist. Patterson's got 8 points. Spurs trail by 17. And Mills kicks to Duncan. Working on his shoot. They need this. The rebound by Patterson. Patterson's got 6 rebounds in the game.
He can't find anything out there. His misses are really hurting this team.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's lights out. Off target with his 3. And now in transition is Mills. Here we go. Jackson And Diao kicks to Mills. Hits the three-point bomb. Mills has got himself on the board with 3 there. With 1 on the clock. Well, through 3 quarters to play. Down double digits. It may be difficult to overcome.
52.
Rockets on top. They lead by 14. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the 4th quarter of action when we return.
No better show in town than the Rockets. Come out and join the excitement. Tickets are available to see Lights Out and
So as we get rolling here in the 4th quarter, let's go to our sideline reporter Doris Burke for our Sprite Uncontainable game. Doris?
Kevin, our uncontainable game in this one, the stretch by the Rockets. They wanted to have a big presence on defense and be the aggressor, and it showed as they were all business in that first period. A big part of why they have the lead now.
Thank you, Doris. And how many times, guys, do we see a run like this become the difference maker in the outcome of a game?
Well, that usually is the case, Kevin, when one team can get on a run like they did, where they just feel so dominant offensively. More often than not, that's going to be the difference in the game.
And in this game, even at the very beginning of that run, you could sense the momentum getting ready to take a huge swing. And swing it did, fellas. Swing it did.
On the court for San Antonio, Parker and Manu Ginobili, they're back. Kawhi Leonard is out there, and Boris Diaw, and it's Green and Martin in the bucket. Here's Parker. 60 seconds off the clock here in the 4th. To shoot. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. Ginobili can't get that one to fall. Rockets leading by 17. Backing down is Martin. Here's Lights Out. And another 3 for Houston.
That's now 6 straight points off open threes. Get a hand up, fellas. Pay attention to the scouting report.
You know how quickly things can go south when you start giving up wide open looks to this team.
So for the Rockets, Patterson comes in for Marcus Morris. Tony Douglas is subbed in for Jeremy Lin. Tim Duncan is checked in for San Antonio. Jackson comes in for Daniel Green. We're just over a minute and a half now into the 4th. Parker passes to Jackson. Over Martin. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Here's Douglas. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
You know, Tony Douglas had the starting point guard role early last season for the Knicks, but just didn't run with it. He struggled with his shooting and his playmaking, so it became a season to forget for him on an individual basis as Jeremy Lin took his starting job.
And Tony Douglas, I think you'd say Clark in his first 2 seasons in the league prior to last season had been a pleasant surprise. But, you know, as Steve just said, last season was really a struggle.
Yeah, the growth isn't always going to be a straight line north. The late first rounder showed he could shoot the 3 and play tough defense, a little undersized, and he has to play 2 guards. But he's still a guy that I think is going to be very productive for the Spurs.
Launches a 3. Tony gets it to go.
The offensive efficiency has been really important. I think that's been the difference.
Well, you know, I think it's pretty simplistic, but it does oftentimes come down to this, making shots, and that's what they've done.
And that is good. A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the 4th quarter. This is it to a shoot. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and they shoot 2.
Well, the Sheik wasn't the biggest name on the free agent market, but he was an intriguing one with the way he played for the Bulls last year. It was enough for the Rockets, and they signed him to a pretty hefty deal.
Well, Sheik wasn't the biggest free agent name on the market last summer, guys, but he will have a huge impact for the Rockets. One of the best defensive centers in the game. I don't think he's a 40-minute-a-night guy, but he can make a huge impact playing 20, 25 minutes, especially on the defensive end of the floor.
3-pointer, Martin 10 points in just the second half.
9 straight points for them off of wide open looks from deep. Something has to change for this deep.
Yeah, they're just giving up too many easy shots out there. They've got to close out harder, get a hand up, make him put it on the floor.
Lock at 6. Parker against Douglas. Parker's shot is off. Rockets have gotten every shot they've taken so far in the fourth quarter to go in. That's 5 in a row to start the quarter. Over Jackson. And it's Houston with another.
Well, it's been nice, efficient work, guys, that he's been doing. I mean, we haven't seen him take many bad shots, and that's the sign of a mature, poised player.
Parker kicks to Duncan. Back to Parker. With the fadeaway. Releases. Goes to the fadeaway and cans it. Parker's got 4 points this quarter.
And they got exactly what they wanted against that defense.
And the pass to Patterson. Kicks to Douglas. Back to Patterson. San Antonio with the rebound. Duncan's got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's Parker. It's good. Only a few seconds into the shot clock.
Well, good job finding a little opening in the defense and burying the jumper.
Rockets lead by 23. Now here's Douglas. He feeds it to a Sheik. Here's Lights Out. He passes to Douglas. Houston needs to get a shot. From 8. Patterson can't get it to go. Spurs shooting it well here in the fourth quarter. 50%. Parker kicks to Jackson. Ginobili. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Parker. And another basket for San Antonio.
Tony Parker doing major work with some nice hoops.
Rockets have gone 6 of 8 in the field in the fourth so far. It's been a great start to this final quarter for them. Here's the double team with Ginobili. Here's Lights Out. Sheik dishes to Martin. Drills the three-pointer. Martin's got 20 points.
Boy, these threes are picking them apart. I mean, 4 out of the last 5 shots against them, all uncontested, and all are threes.
Yeah, the defense just looks uninterested right now. I mean, they're not making the effort to challenge these shots.
Here's Lights Out. Feeds to Martin. Over Jackson. Martin with the bucket. 22 points for him.
He has taken over this game, guys. I don't know what else you can say about him.
Parker drives in. Here's Duncan. And it's a Sheik with the rebound. Rockets have gone 8 of 10 from the field here in the fourth quarter. Really getting it done. Douglas against Parker. Open look. Gets it to go.
Doesn't look like they're going to take it easy on them down the stretch.
It certainly doesn't look like it. I mean, they're still aggressively attacking the basket and putting up points.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, you know, Tony Parker, ever since he entered the league as a young 19-year-old, has been one of the real speed merchants. I mean, and now in his 30s, you wonder how much longer he'll have those wheels, but so far, no slowing him down to this point.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Jawan Johnson's checked in for a Sheik. Marcus Morris comes in for Patrick Patterson. And it's Lamb in there for Tony Douglas. Morris with the bucket.
I think we can chalk this one up. The goal now is just to run some time.
Yeah, I think it's time to get the bus started now, boys.
Green kicks to Splitter. Rockets with the rebound. And here is Lamb. He dishes it to Martin. Here's Lights Out. Down low. Got a piece of it. Parker with the steal. Here's Mills. Off target. So we see the Rockets taking the win here. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
And that'll do it for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this first.
Give me that beat, fool. It's a full-time jack.
Easy win for you guys tonight. Did you see that one coming?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. In the NBA, you're always going to be facing good competition. But we've been talking as a team, and we really feel like our game has jumped to another level. These guys were all executing exactly the way Coach wanted us to. And this is the type of result we expect to get when we do that. This game should serve as a message to the league. We're ready to win, and we're ready to win now. And with the talent we have here, this team's capable of anything.